Hey y'all, I have absolutely no idea what's going on with my StreamYard again today. Um, we're just kind of not working. No intros are working on my end, and I don't know what the hell. So we're just gonna get this thing started, I guess. Um, I tried to pop out chat, and when I popped out chat, StreamYard went nuts. I have no idea what's up. And it's not my computer. I checked to make sure everything was updated. It's StreamYard. So we are gonna get this thing started. Tonight is a Carly Gregg update. Everybody went to bed early. Um, Not taking a nap uh definitely has its advantages for going to bed earlier. So there's that. Um, I am so confused right now, but whatever. Um, I everything is delayed by like 10 or 15 seconds. Like I'll see a chat pop up in the live stream, and then, like, it won't come onto StreamYard for, like usually it's about a 3 to 4 second delay. Now it's, like, 15, 20. Like, I'm gonna something's weird. Something's odd, and I don't know what it is. Give me 1 second. Like, I tried to open up my stream, and it won't YouTube won't even open up my stream. So we're here, and we're just kinda doing it. Tonight is a Carly Gregg update for anybody who is new here, hasn't ever heard of this case. Also, I have new articles and a PDF on her decision to plead insanity. Um, she this case is nuts. And the fact that she is so young makes me weird. It like weirded out by it. Like none of the chats, the last chat that I see in StreamYard is Unhung Heroes wave. That is the last chat that I can see in StreamYard. StreamYard is not updating anything. Um, yeah, yeah, I don't know. So I want to see if I can I'm gonna restart this, and you didn't break it. I I don't know. Today it's just weird. Like I don't know. Like it's just weird. Has anybody else that you've seen do a live stream, have they had issues with StreamYard today? Because I thought like it would fix it, but it's like every time I have StreamYard open, um, other things, like my Canva, I couldn't even make a thumbnail while StreamYard was open because it wouldn't like, it didn't work. Like, I closed StreamYard and everything else worked fine. I opened StreamYard and everything went to hell. Um, it's just I haven't been able to watch anybody else because today is weird. So I'm gonna try to go into incognito mode because somebody mentioned that earlier. Shenny mentioned it earlier. And we're gonna try to just open up the stream in incognito mode and see what happens. Because I've heard that is a way. So I will be back in a hot minute. Let me play. See if I can open the intermission, and I will be back in a minute.
Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals they take us higher. The night's young and it's just begun as she puts her hand in mine. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, every shot from the top. We're gonna be two hearts running wild.
Okay, well, that totally didn't work because I yeah, that totally just didn't work. Um Incognito mode made me log in again, and now my computer, my settings are all messed up. So I'm really not sure what is truly going on here, because now I'm all blurry, and yeah, my camera settings are all jacked up. Totally don't know what's happening to me tonight. But anyway, since my computer is obviously, when I was in incognito mode, it would not let me um have access to my camera and mic. I'm like, I don't, StreamYard sucks. I'm thinking about going to Streamlabs. Because now my mic is on my webcam. Let's see if it recognizes it now. There we go. Here's my Nano. Oh boy. I hate technology sometimes. I really do. I don't know what's happening to my camera. It is not like it was 10 minutes ago. I'm going to have to fix it later. So, let's finally get started after 10 minutes of BS. Everybody has 10 to 15. It did get better. Well, that's because I unplugged and replugged in my mic. So it's actually this mic and not the webcam mic. But the webcam settings are all jacked up now. I'm super zoomed in where I was not super zoomed in before. I like not being super zoomed in. It's kind of better like that. But I'm blurry. See, I'm blurry and I'm zoomed in. So yeah. Anyway, we are going to read the PDF of the insanity plea. So hopefully StreamYard lets me share stuff. Share screen. Because, at this point, who knows? Who really knows? Okay. Can any of y'all see that? Because it's not actually sharing. I can't see that it's sharing. So if you can see that the PDF, it didn't work. It's not working for me. God, I hate this. I'm really sick of StreamYard tonight. I just might delete this stream and call it a night because I don't know what's actually happening, because now it's not letting me actually share anything. Why me? I feel like I always have technology issues, and I shouldn't. Everything worked just fine earlier today. And then when I went live, it didn't work, and now everything's crappy. So, I'm going to try this one more time to restart my computer. And I just can't. I don't know what YouTube or StreamYard is doing to me, but it's annoying. It's crap.
Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals they take us higher. The night's young and it's just begun as she puts her hand in mine. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be two hearts running wild. as the hours pass, we're gonna do it all again.
Hey y'all. I It's still not working. So, it's taking a dear sweet time of I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I restarted my computer and it's still not working. So, yeah, bad duck. I feel like having a whiskey. It seems like it would be so much better. Um, yeah, still don't know what's happening. Um, Still don't know what's happening. At least my mic looks better and my mic sounds better and my camera is fixed. I have no idea what's happening. I feel like Megan and Vice's the other day when they were trying to do one of the streams and it just nothing they did worked. Like, I that's what I feel like right now. Um, I've had a very difficult time with StreamYard today. There's like a delay. Every time StreamYard is a tab for StreamYard is open, it affects my whole computer. Once I close StreamYard, everything else tends to work. Um, there's like a 15 or 20-second delay between the time when I see a chat pop up in the chat window, that I popped out from the actual stream and when it shows up in StreamYard. Usually it's like 3 to 4 seconds of a delay, which is why when you are on like a different when you watch streamers, they don't see your chats right away because there's a delay between when you type it and when it shows up in StreamYard. I'm not able to share my tab. I This time I restarted my computer, so maybe it'll work now, but it's just weird. Like, I don't know. I tried to share it and it's still not sharing. So, I don't know. Can any of you guys see the fact that I shared it? Because it's not, and now it's not letting me hide and I'm frozen. This is just awesome. There we go. Hey, look at that. Oh, so there we go. I don't know what is happening with this today. I really don't. Because when I'm not using StreamYard, my computer is working fine. Everything is great. Nothing is delayed. And then the minute I start using StreamYard, everything gets delayed. I don't know what's happening. Like, it even is taking about 10 seconds for me to add myself when I hit add to stage. Like, it doesn't show up right away. Like, it normally is, like, instant. I don't know. Maybe it's my computer being angry at me for having it shut down for 2 weeks. I know. I feel like technology is, starting to tell us that it's pissed at us. Alright. So this is Carly Gregg. Quick case overview. For anybody who doesn't know Carly Gregg, Carly Gregg is a 14-year-old, now 15, who is accused of allegedly unaliving her mother, using her mom's phone to text her stepdad, um, and when her stepdad got home, ambushing her stepdad. Between the time that she is accused of unaliving her mother and attempting to unalive her stepdad, she texted a friend, called them over saying it was an emergency, and then when they got there, asked, "Have you ever seen a dead body?" And when they said no, she proceeded to allegedly show them her mother's unalived body. 6 rounds. She supposedly intended on using 3 for her mother, 2 to the head, 1 to the chest, and the same for her stepdad. She shot him in the shoulder, but he survived. She denied a plea deal or declined a plea deal a couple weeks ago, and they're intending on intent to rely on defensive insanity. So comes now the defendant Carly Gregg, and by and through her counsel of record Kevin D. Camp and Bridget Todd, and files this her notice of intent to rely upon the defense of insanity at the time of the alleged crime pursuant to Rule 17.4b of the Mississippi Rules of Criminal Procedure. The defendant has filed this notice within the time provided by the order setting trial, pretrial conference, plea date, and settlement conference for pretrial motions being on or before August 30th, 2024. This notice gives written record to the state and clerk of court that the defendant intends to establish the defense of insanity. Respectfully submitted, 28 day August. So this was submitted when I was back home. So certificate of service, notice of expert witness, comes now to the defendant, Carly Gregg, blah, 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 all the lawyer stuff. Defendant intends to rely on the expert testimony of the following people relating to a mental illness, defect, or other condition bearing upon issue of whether the defendant had the mental state required for the offense charged. Andrew Clark, MD. Another certificate of service, all the lawyer stuff. And for those of you who either never heard or don't remember, she is being charged with three things. Count 1, first-degree murder. Count 2, attempted murder. Count 3, tampering with physical evidence. The plea deal was 40 years for first degree with the consideration of dropping attempted murder and tampering with physical evidence charges. Her attorneys never tried an unaliving case. Yeah, they seem like they've never tried a case. We've watched all the hearings, and the judge is not happy with them at all. They haven't turned over discovery. They're waiting an extraordinary long time to get any reports of her mental health status. It's just, and then they go into the charges. And she was not she was denied a motion to lower her bond. So that's the insanity. They intend on using the insanity. Well, here's how it works in the state of Mississippi. Let's share this screen and let's see if it actually works. Hey Peachy, how are you? Yeah, I think Sarah Boone would be a better attorney than these two. Like, honestly, like, I've never sided with the state in a turning over discovery and all of that. Like, it yeah. Oh, and I'm just waiting for this to load. I shared it 30 seconds ago. StreamYard is being there we go. I'm frozen again. And here in about 30 or 40 seconds, it should be fine. And we should be able to see the how the insanity defense works in Mississippi article that Flash fan gracefully sent to me. Hey, look. I have no idea what's going on with this, but we're making it work. 'Cause I'm not really sure. Like, I've been frustrated with StreamYard before, but this is yeah. So, that took me, um, a long time in order to be shared, and it keeps telling me my browser lost connection to screen share audio. Well, good thing we're not sharing the audio, because there is no audio. But, gotta love StreamYard. I'm seriously considering getting Streamlabs, because this is ridiculous, but okay. Alright. How the insanity defense works in Mississippi. With the mental health evaluation pending in a highly publicized unaliving case, some may wonder about the test ties with the insanity defense. Whoever wrote this is definitely from Mississippi. Just saying. On Thursday, the Mississippi Supreme Court denied an appeal that would have prevented Carly Gregg from getting a mental health evaluation. The teenager is charged in the death of her mother and the shooting of her stepfather back in March. Though Carly's legal team has not utilized the insanity defense as of publication, they have now. This was written August 9th. The motion for an insanity defense was the 28th. A mental health evaluation would likely have been requested if her team did. Here's how the defense works. America's judicial system is heavily modeled after England's. Even after the United States became a country, rules derived from case law across the pond still impact the American legal system. One of those legal principles is the standard for insanity, known as the McNaughton Rule. This rule came from a 19th century English court case. Little history lesson for everybody tonight. Nearly 2 centuries later, the standard is still used by Mississippi and most states for assessing whether someone is insane in a court of law. Insanity under the test is not based on the defendant's mental state at the time of trial, but when the defendant committed the unlawful act. It applies in 2 scenarios. If the defendant has a mental disease or illness that prevents them from knowing right from wrong, if the said mental disease or illness prevents them from understanding the gravity of their actions. Didn't we have this conversation earlier about needing to, like, drop a bunch of weight and give it to baby squid? Well, we need to stop mentioning McDonald's, and that might help shrink the size of all of our behinds. People are only saying it's unfair because she was 14. At 14 years old, you should know. Even those with the most mental health disorders know the fact that taking another person's life is wrong. You have to be pretty far gone in order to not understand that that is wrong. Most people do. I'm gonna exercise my McMahon boobs. Oh boy. I love you guys. And time to get back to the article before we get too derailed. Yes, her mom is the lady in the thumbnail. Her mom was a high school algebra teacher and seemed like a very sweet lady. Lucky you. I have about 40 pounds to lose. But yeah, it is awful. But you know how we cope with things here. We cope with things with dark humor and chocolate, just like Mo. Dark chocolate and dark humor. And sometimes some ice cream. Just saying. Yep. Carly was a freshman, and I think her mom actually taught freshman algebra. Don't quote me on that one, though. Flashman is once again our resident expert on this case. He is the one who sent it to me. I'm not gonna argue with that. You got a point. Um, Under Mississippi case law, the defendant is presumed sane until a reasonable doubt of sanity is created. If a reasonable doubt of sanity is created, the prosecution bears the burden in proving sanity beyond a reasonable doubt. The jury determines whether a defendant is insane under the 2 scenarios listed above. In making its determination, the jury may accept or reject expert and lay testimony. The jury's determination will stand if sufficiently supported by evidence. However, defendants being found to be insane by a jury is very rare. Hey, I loved algebra. It was like everything else that I didn't like. Another test adopted by many courts and states in the 1950s and 60s is the Model Penal Code test for insanity. No jokes, JKD book. The test broadened who could be considered insane. The test received widespread scrutiny after John Hinckley, who shot President Ronald Reagan in 1981, another history lesson, was acquitted based on satisfying the qualifications of insanity under the Model Penal Code test. Some states even abandoned the Model Penal Code test for insanity and reverted back to the M'Naughton rule after Hinckley's acquittal. I mean, it it is I mean, math is the one thing I'm good at because 1 plus 1 always equals 2 unless you're from Washington and math is racist. But, you know, I liked math because there was no subjectivity to it. It is what it is. Whereas English and most other subjects and even history have some level of subjectivity. There was no you didn't have to like what I did in my math class to know that it was right. All right, let's see how long it takes for me to stop sharing. They should, but I'm not exactly sure how that goes. I would have to talk to um MLS or um Vices or Danny because she is being tried as an adult. Um and that is why they keep dressing her like she's a 10-year-old from the 1950s. They're trying to make her look as young as possible in the hopes of that they will take some sort of leniency on her because she's so young. I'm sorry. At 14 years old, like everybody was 14 once, you pushed boundaries at 14 and you knew when you were being an asshole. Like you knew when you were being a jerk. You knew right from wrong. You knew when you were doing stuff wrong, but you did it anyway because you could and you just wanted to be a 14-year-old jerk who thought you knew it all. But like at 14, you still know, even being an asshole, you still know that taking someone's life is wrong. And although I believe she has some mental health issues, I believe she has some depression and some anxiety, as most kids do. I don't think I don't think she has a mental disease or defect that would keep her from knowing right from wrong. What I do think though, and this is my personal opinion, I was not there. I do not have access to her medical records. I am not giving medical advice or legal advice because I'm not a lawyer either. But they're using her medication as an excuse. I don't think that is an excuse. But the last time we talked about this case, we and I my poor memory, I can't remember what medication she was actually on, but we looked up the medication she was on, and she is 15 now. She was 14 at the time. The younger you are, there's a reason that SSRIs are not supposed to be given to those under 18 because they increase the risk of self-unaliving thoughts. So, oh yeah, Lexapro. So, I am going to do what I did last time. We went to and let's see how long this takes to share because, good lord. Let's see if it goes any faster. So, I'm, closing all other tabs to see if anything gets better. I'm thinking not, and Rosalind, to be fair, we're all trying to look younger, but the way they're trying to get her to look is just creepy. So I'm gonna start reading this even though it isn't sharing right now, and when it does share, I will be sure to stop talking when I freeze so that I'm not talking when y'all can't hear me anyway. So Lexapro is an antidepressant from the group of drugs called selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, also known as SSRIs. They're pretty common and pretty popular. There's also, this is not me reading. There's also SNRIs, which is a different class of antidepressant, which, in my personal opinion, has less side effects. Not always the case, but in my personal experience, SNRIs tend to not um not have the same effects as SSRIs. So, oh, here we go. We're starting that freezing part again. Yeah, JKD Buck, we're about to read the side effects of Lexapro, and I cannot say from personal experience, I have never been on S SSR I have never been on Lexapro. And yes, Unhung Hero, SNRIs are harder to discontinue, but the side effects. So an SNRI is like Vyvanse, and I'm frozen, so I'm just waiting until um oh, that's the one hell of a way to freeze. There we go. Um, so SNRIs are Effexor, venlafaxine, which I'll be honest with you guys. Yeah, Vyvanse is an amphetamine. I meant venlafaxine. I've been on both. Vyvanse is a was I used Vyvanse for my migraines when it was the Chiari causing the headaches, and it worked, but it didn't. Um, yeah, I'm on venlafaxine, so I'm on an SNRI. Just giving y'all a little bit of information there. Um, but Lexapro is common side effects. Um, painful urination, dizziness, drowsiness, tiredness, or weakness. Common. Feeling anxious or agitated. Right there. Increased muscle movements, feeling shaky, sleep problems, insomnia, sweating, dry mouth, increased thirst, loss of appetite, nausea, constipation, yawning, nosebleed, heavy cycles for women, and something that I really hope that ah I need that. We just I just generally say chuck it in a fuck it bucket and move on. But so and serious side effects, and those are just common side effects, the ones we read. Um Get a medical emergency medical help if you have signs of an allergic reaction, skin rashes, hives, an anaphylactic response. Um, report any new or worsening symptoms to your doctor, mood, behavior changes, anxiety, panic attacks, trouble sleeping, impulsive, irritable, agitated, hostile, aggressive, restless, hyperactive, more depressed, or have thoughts of unaliving yourself. Does anybody see a problem with that in a 14-year-old? I'm just 14-year-old. And we all know it's pretty common knowledge. Well, Flash fan, it's not that see, if I were her defense team, I would not be doing the insanity defense because No, that's just not how I would go because that's really hard to prove. But what is more easy to understand, hey, Tammy, what is easier to understand is that she was put on an antidepressant by a doctor, knowing that she's under 18, and SSRIs for those under 18 can cause, this is not medical, this is not my opinion or this is my understanding from dealing with that is true. Um, but in my opinion, they say if you ever see a commercial for an antidepressant, it will tell you not recommended for those under 18 as it can cause increased thoughts of unaliving yourself. Well, if it could cause increased thoughts of unaliving yourself, which is a serious side effect, who's to say that it does not cause these other side effects either, including agitated, hostile, and aggressive? So I'm not saying that it was all the medication, but if you are a teenager with anger issues anyway, and just that normal teenage F the world, I know better than everybody else, combined with the side effects of a medication that your butt shouldn't be taking if you're under 18 anyway, I if I were her defense team, and this is me just being a layperson, I would really raise her medical history and the fact that a doctor put her on this medication and might not have monitored her the way that they should have. So, flash fan, it is a stretch to say that it caused her to unalive her mom because of a medication, but it's really, if you've ever been on an SSRI and you've dealt with side effects and agitation and aggression is a serious side effect, and being someone under 18, you're more susceptible to side effects of these medications. It is not a stretch to say that her and her mother got into an argument and her aggression caused her to do this. Not being insane, but that would be a defense where, yes, I did it, but this is not all my fault. Um, it is, I believe that that would be a better defense than trying to use the insanity plea. I just, yeah, it's, it's well known that yeah, it's well known that SSRIs are not good for children. And this might be the most serious reason as to why they're not good. So, yes, would she still be guilty? Yes. However, I significantly see a lowered sentence if they can put this reasonable doubt in the mind of the jury and the mind of the judge that this caused some agitation and aggression. And when you have agitation, aggression, and a weapon readily available, things get out of hand fast. I mean, it's yeah, it's if I were her defense team, that's what I would use. Like because you can in my opinion, you can make a link between her agitated behavior and her risk taking and her unaliving somebody, especially someone so close to her that could have said something to her that set her off. And it could have been the day before where her mom said something to her or tried to punish her, and she got agitated. And when you're 14, you don't let shit go easily. Hell, when you're 39, you don't let shit go easily. I still have a problem letting shit go. But it I mean, this could be a reason. These side effects ain't no joke. And if you've ever dealt with a medication that makes you agitated, there is no talking you down off that ledge. You think that you are untouchable. And it even says Lexapro may cause serious side effects, racing thoughts, unusual risk taking behavior. Like, I mean, all of this could add up to an unaliving event. Not saying that it's accurate or that it's right or that you shouldn't know that unaliving someone is wrong, but dealing with the side effects and you not being old enough to understand that because what 14-year-old that's on a medication reads the paperwork? There's not many adults that when you get a medication and you read through, you just say your doctor told you to take it, so you take it. You don't read through the side effects, monitor yourself for the side effects, and then go, maybe I shouldn't be on this. Let's talk to our doctors about changing. Most people who are in their 30s, 40s, and 50s who are chronic pain patients or have chronic diseases and have been on medication A, B, C, D, E, F, G, however many medications throughout your life, you do it because you're experienced with this. But a 14-year-old is not experienced to know the difference between what's your 14-year-old hormones, what's you just being a 14-year-old brat, because I'm sorry, every 14-year-old is a brat, and you knowing that this is not your normal behavior, this is a side effect of your medication. At 14 years old, I wouldn't have been able to tell you that. The only reason at 14 that I knew that I had side effects of a medication is because I was allergic to it. Yeah, you're on Lexapro, but you're 51. The older you get, and it reaches the point where if you're old after a certain age, medications can affect your cognition. Um, and listening to and sitting through rounds for years and listening to a geriatric doctor talk about a person's medications and having to change those medications because certain medications after the age of 65 can affect you negatively, just like under the age of 18 can affect you negatively. There's like a happy medium. And I am not a nurse or I'm not a nurse, I'm not a pharmacist. I've been thinking about having one of my friends who's a pharmacist and my best friend who's a nurse talk about um their experiences with these medications. Yeah, I wouldn't want a child on it either, though. People were saying she's also too young to decide on the plea deal she rejected. You know what? I at 14, you're gonna do what you wanna do, and you don't think about consequences. Um, Part of the reason that she's being tried as an adult is because I believe that 14, you should know that unaliving someone is wrong. However, at 14, you can't see past the end of your nose with consequences. So you know it's wrong, but you think you're untouchable. Everybody remembers being 14, right? I mean, it was a long time ago for me, but I still remember being a little brat. Like I was overall not a bad kid, sort of. I'm probably a worse adult than I was a kid when it comes to like rule breaking and not giving a shit. I probably give less of a crap now than I did when I was 14. I was 14, I was in a goody two shoes, but I was damn close. Like I was damn close. and now I just don't give a damn. My give a damn broke a long time ago. So, I can see that this being a huge problem. So and you shouldn't take well, there's also, like, you shouldn't take Lexapro if you're taking, um, Pimozidi or I can never say this. This is one of the easiest medications to pronounce, Pimozide or citalopram, and I have a problem with it all the time because it's so easy that yeah, I my my F's just yeah, I was angry when I was 14 a lot, so flash fan, take being 14 and just a regular 14-year-old brat, angry brat who thinks like you know everything, you're an expert, your parents know nothing. Try adding depression or even bipolar. Um, like so, and here's the warning that I think might have been ignored. And this is a warning that her defense team could use against not to victim blame, but against her mother. I don't know where her dad is in all of this. But then you add this young adults are at higher risk of having thoughts about unaliving themselves when first taking an antidepressant. Stay alert to changes in your mood or symptoms. Parents or caregivers should report any new or worsening mood symptoms in their child to their doctor. Also, be alert for signs of mania, excessively happy, or active behavior. So, if she had these, her parents didn't do anything about it, and this is where I feel like her defense team could use that to their advantage. Whereas this insanity defense, I don't think is going to, I don't think is gonna I don't think is gonna do anything. So, like, yeah, I, goody two shoes, but really, really close to not being a goody two shoes. But, like, if you add being a normal, angry teenager who pushes boundaries, your mom is a teacher at the school you teach at, that can't be easy for a teenager. I mean, my cousin is a teacher. Uh, her son is in his last year of elementary school. She's a middle school teacher. Luckily, um she teaches at the school on the other side of town, so her son will not be going to the same school she teaches at, and that's probably a good thing because then his friends can't make fun of him for being you know, like, his mom can't pop on not that she would, my cousin's pretty cool like that, but, um, not that she would pop in on him and, like or embarrass him or anything, but there's no chance of it because she's at the other school, or so could you imagine being in a small Mississippi school and your mom is a teacher in the same school you go to? Could you imagine what the other kids said to her? Um, okay. According to Court TV, the mom and dad were in a fierce custody battle. So, if they were in a fierce custody battle, that would be a recipe for an angry teenager, a recipe for a teenager with some depression and some anxiety because you're witnessing your parents fighting over you. And most parents, although they try to be and my parents got divorced when I was 2, so I didn't really deal with a whole lot of this, but when they're, like, actively fighting in front of you, and at 14, you're not stupid, so you kinda know what's going on, but, like yeah, my wife and my son are both type A bonehead people, she teaches in a different district. Oh, the battles they had in 2 semesters of geometry. Yeah, could you imagine? I mean, Rankin County. So, I'm gonna look up Rankin County, Mississippi. So it's a okay, so it is a big school, or it is a big county. Well, I can't say it's a big county, but it is 155,271 people. Okay. Which is like 15 and a half times larger than the county that I live in. So so there's probably multiple schools, so she might not have there might be more than one school, maybe. In the county my mom works um, in the school my mom works at, there's multiple elementary schools, a few middle schools, and 3 high schools. Um, so she might not have taught at the same, but if you're living there's a good chance that she taught at the same school she worked at, or she that her mom taught at the same school she was going to be going to. So it's like, there's this whole it's a toss up. There's multiple other factors that could have gone into this and why she might have, cuz it seems like the first one, based on the information that I've seen from articles, be it the trial doesn't start till next week. There's a pretrial hearing tomorrow, I believe at 10:30. Um I'm assuming it's not gonna be live, so I'll look for it and I'll cover it live if it is going live, but if not, we'll get the video later and we'll go over it probably Wednesday. 9 AM. Okay. 9 AM, but is 9 AM is Mississippi Central Time or Eastern Time? Because there's that too. And I think I'm getting confused because I was in Wisconsin in Central Time for 2 weeks, and now my, like, internal clock is all screwy. I don't know. It's I'm always the peacemaker. I'm gonna ground him for 12,000 years versus when I leave the house, I'll never visit either of you. The joy. Oh, boy. Oh, thanks for giving me a glimpse into my future. Appreciate you. Okay, 10 our time. Okay, so I was right about 10. So it's 9 Central. Um, if it's not live, I will, obviously, I'll get the video. Either I'll find it or Flash Friend will find it and send it to me. And we'll go over it either tomorrow night or, Wednesday. Tomorrow night is the debate, so I'm probably not gonna stream tomorrow night. I probably will do an early afternoon stream somewhere between the time that Megan Fox would normally stream in the morning and the debate time. So somewhere in the middle, and we'll do updates on, Sarah Boone. Um, because I'm trying to do one case in one stream so that we don't get confused. Yeah, I am not doing a debate watch party because I get secondhand embarrassment for people. Like, I can't even watch movies where I watch people embarrass themselves because I get secondhand embarrassment for the characters. So it's very hard for me to watch things where I know somebody's gonna get embarrassed and called out and act stupid. Like, even though I don't like a certain candidate, I'm not a fan of hers by any means. I think she was a crappy prosecutor and a racist prosecutor. Um, uh, but um, I I can't even watch her interviews where she talks in circles. Like, it's to me, it's sad. Like, I couldn't watch Biden's horrible things because I'm embarrassed for him. Like, I think it's elder abuse. So I was embarrassed for him and, like, couldn't couldn't watch. I had to, like, cover my eyes and, like, I can't. So it's not that I don't want to stream the other side of things. It's just I have a very hard time watching people embarrass themselves, especially when they don't know that they're embarrassing themselves. and they're okay with it. I get very, like, eh, cringy. It's very hard for me to watch, but I've always been like that. Like, I have a very difficult time watching people embarrass themselves. Other people find that entertaining, and they like to make fun of it. I find it cringy, and I hate watching people embarrass themselves. It makes me sad. Mm. I did see a video of him the other day where and it was one of those things where I it could have possibly been taken out of context, but I don't think so because there was enough time in the video, but it was basically him saying, um, oh, if I could find it, I'd play it. It was basically him saying, um, that he believes in individual freedom and all of this and all of that, and then it skipped to what happened during COVID when he was governor, and he, it was a recording of the hotline where you could call in your neighbors and basically tattletale on your neighbors for, breaking COVID protocols of having people over or having a gathering or, being seen without masks or whatever. But it was like him believing in individual freedoms and minding your own business, and then skipping to 2020 where you could tattletale on your neighbor with a hotline that he set up because it was his state. So it's like I there's only so much you can get that you can take out of context from that one because he literally said, "Yeah, I can't handle cringe." Like I literally can't handle cringe. Like I like to laugh at it, but like that's why I'll watch highlights later and like I'll go back and if I see something that I'm kind of like, "Huh?" I will go back and watch that segment. But to sit down for a couple hours and watch it and even Trump sometimes, because sometimes I like during his last presidency, I like him, but it's like but at the same time, it's like, dude, stop talking. Sometimes you need to say one thing and just stop because it's the second part that is gets taken out of context. And when that is taken out of context, it gets cringy because then people just believe that's all he said. And it's like, just stop. So, why did who say that? Yes, he has lots of words. The best words. Oh my goodness. But, like, it's just one of those, like, sometimes I just wish he would, like, stop talking and then it gets a little cringy too. Like, I think he tries to be funny and, like, it just goes off it he is a type of humor that I think he's like some of us where we have that, like, dark, like, gutter my mind's always in the gutter type of sense of humor. I think he's that same way, and I think a lot of America just doesn't it's like the people who when we laugh at crap like, when we laugh when things go horrible. Like, we were making fun of the lawyers in the Maya trial. Were we laughing at the situation? No, but that was our coping mechanism for dealing with a shitty situation and uncomfortable feelings. I laugh at crappy situations because if I don't laugh, I'm gonna scream. So it's like, yeah, he's like that grandpa that thinks he's hilarious. Sometimes yes, sometimes cringe. Like I think back in the day, he was a playboy. Like he was the millionaire or the billionaire that everybody wanted to be around. So he could act like you know what I mean? He could say things that you wouldn't otherwise say because he could, not because he should, but because he could. And I think that's why a lot of people don't like him or don't resonate with him. I think the RNC helped. Um, The only reason that I give Biden sympathy, and be it I do not like him. I think he has been a shitty politician, and sorry I bumped my desk. I think he has been a shitty, racist politician for 50 years. I believe he is a shitty dad. I believe that he is a liar. I believe that he is a racist. Um, through and through, he's a racist because, like, there are certain things you say. I believe he is. Yeah, I believe he is evil. Exactly, exactly. Like, oh my god. um, Flash fan. Did you ever see when? Oh my god. Clarence Thomas when he was doing his um confirmation hearings. Did you see how Joe Biden spoke to him? I will try to get that I will try to get that video, but, like, the only reason the only reason that I have sympathy for this man is because I believe that even he knew that he was done years ago, and the people behind him made him a puppet, and I believe that it is elder abuse. The man should have been in a nursing home or even at home comfortable living out his days, not in the public eye. Because everybody's cognition goes downhill when they start to get older. Everybody's does. I would give people a cognitive screening and I would see it doesn't matter if you have dementia or not. Everybody's cognition goes downhill eventually. That's it's one of those things of when you get old, y- a lot of your behaviors revert back to childhood. The lack of bladder control being one of the biggest, the lack of cognition and higher level thinking. Your procedural memory tends to stay the same, the getting dressed, how to cook your food, but it's those higher level thinking processes that go downhill. I believe that everybody around him could see this for years. Years, because if you look at him back in 2012 when he left the stopped being VP, and you look at him now, if any idiot off the street can see it, you know his wife saw it. You know his doctors saw it. And yet here he is being pushed in front of people. Where I believe that this should have been processes that took place behind the scenes. And someone's declining cognition should not be put on display for the world. So I don't I don't feel for him in the sense of the decisions he made when he was cognitively intact and how racist I think he is. And the 1995 crime bill that he had a hand in. However, I feel bad for the fact that a cognitively impaired man who should be being cared for, resting, living out his days, hanging out with his family, hanging out with dogs, like living life behind closed doors on the beach where he's currently at, or he was a few days ago. Like, those are things that he should be doing full time. He should not be president of the United States being forced to do things that are out of his cognitive abilities. And I believe that's a form of elder abuse. And I've reported people for elder abuse to the social worker on my floor. So, oh yeah, that's just creepy. And the fact that she confirmed it, it's like, that's just creepy. That's just creepy. And I'm not going to comment on that because okay, here's why I'm not gonna comment on that, and I'm not going to throw Biden under the bus for that because ev so y think about you working from home versus working in an office. Like Bush. I'm not a fan of Bush by any means, but everybody talked about how much he was in Texas at his ranch. I'm pretty sure he had a fully equipped office and could do some of the things that he could do from the White House from his ranch in Texas. So just because you are out of the White House does not mean you are not working. When Trump was at Mar-a-Lago, I'm pretty sure in Mar-a-Lago he has a fully equipped office and was given everything or had everything he needed to do what he needed to do from his house. I mean, I stream from my damn dining room. I have a setup. If I have a setup this decent from yeah, I have a setup this decent in my dining room on a budget. Could you imagine a billionaire? Like, I don't so when it doesn't matter which president, the media always goes crazy or one side always goes crazy about the other side doing things. Obama being on vacation. Yes, the taxpayer money I have a problem with, and this is where Obama being on vacation, like, in Hawaii versus being at his house, like, his own personal house on Martha's Vineyard or wherever, or hit like, Trump being in Mar-a-Lago. Mar-a-Lago, he owned it. So it's not like the taxpayers were paying any money versus a trip to Hawaii where the taxpayers were paying for room, board, extra security, things like that. Um, so it's like, yeah, it's one of those like so uh when dipshit went back to Texas, it's when dipshit went back to Texas, it's not like you were paying $1,000 a night for a resort. That was his house. So it was like, yeah, you had to pay for um Secret Service to be there, but he's a former president. He's always gonna have some Secret Service with him, so it's like it's not like it was costing the taxpayers any extra money. Trump going to Mar-a-Lago, not costing the taxpayers any extra money. Way back in the day, the Clintons going back to their house in Arkansas, not costing the taxpayers any extra money. A trip to Hawaii, costing the taxpayers extra money. Biden being in Delaware on a beach, I'm assuming not far from where he lives because Delaware is a tiny state. It it yeah, it's like Hooters, Hooters, Hooters. Anyway, on that happy note, this has been our StreamYard messed up. I don't know what's happening. Hopefully tomorrow will be better. Carly Gregg update. Um, I have learned and I am learning every stream is a learning opportunity for me. I am learning that I need to do one case per stream. Um, if I ever get monetized and I ever can redirect and I want to talk about multiple cases in one day, I will redirect you to a new stream. That way, we can keep it straight and nobody gets confused. Oh boy. We all need to start like a community diet. like like check in with each other. How'd you do today? Nothing too strict, but thank you. I need to make a thumbnail for that, so I'm ready tomorrow. Yeah, I have enough subscribers. I am like 250 watch hours away. We'll see what after 2 streams of today. does for us. I mean, we only have 8 people watching right now, but still every minute counts. Um, today, this afternoon stream, we actually did pretty good. We averaged about 20 people, which is like, usually we're at like 14 or 15. So the fact that we had, about 18 to 20 people watching at one time consistently, I mean, that's pretty good. I can't really complain. Because most people it takes a year and I've been doing this less than 6 months. Um, it's one of the things of, like, I really wish I could have been, like, some people have a point. I asked, "How do you get monetized so fast?" Well, when you have 500 people watching a 3-hour stream, there's your there's your hours. I'm working on it. It's getting closer and closer. As much as I want people to play all my stuff over and over again or, like, playlists and stuff like that, it's also, like, I kinda like that, but I kinda don't in the sense of I wanna work towards getting more individual viewers at any one time instead of one person playing my stuff on, like, 3 different devices or, as much as I appreciate that, and I'm not saying I don't appreciate that at all. It's just one of those, like, I wanna make sure that I can, start getting more viewers consistently and different different viewers. Hey. Yeah, it's one of those things of, like, and I know I can probably continue to get 3,000 because you need 3,000 watch hours in a year. So I'm sure I could do that, and I'm sorry, I'm itching my legs really bad. We went on a golf cart ride tonight, and usually it's just the little and her dad that go, and mom gets some, like, 10 to 15 minutes of alone time. But tonight I decided to go, and I got eaten alive because we went, like, right before they went to bed. So it was like, now I'm like, my legs are itchy, my arms are itchy. I'm like, just, ugh, everything just itches. So uncomfortable. Mosquitoes like me for some ungodly reason. I don't know why. I'm not that sweet of a person, so you would think that they wouldn't like me very much, but apparently they do. I don't know. Oh well. But I know we're working on it. We're getting maybe. I mean, I guess I'm O positive, so I mean, like, I have the most common blood type, so it's not like I'm anything special. Like, I mean, it'd be weird, like, I have the most common blood type, so literally I'm not anything special. Yeah, I'm uh, you're rare blood type. O is their favorite? Oh, great. I didn't even think about putting, bug spray on because I was like, "We're gonna be gone for 10 minutes and we're moving the whole time." Like, we're in the golf cart. The only thing that I don't like about going for golf cart rides these days is because the little and her dad go all the time, she's become a big girl and she's in the front seat, and I get stuck in the back, which is fine, except for riding backwards gives me a headache. So, I don't know. But we're getting back to the monetization. We're getting back there. Um, we're getting there. I think after today, we'll probably be around 200 hours, which really should only take 3 weeks to a month if I get back to, yeah, she's a passenger princess already. Um, which should only take me about a month if I get back to streaming on a regular basis. Um, taking pretty much 2 weeks off, I would probably already have those 200 hours if I would have streamed my normal schedule at my dad's house. However, family and just relaxing and being close to family took precedence. Um, so we'll get back to it. But this week, probably at least a 3 stream week, maybe 4. It really depends. But it is 10 o'clock, and my butt has to get to bed because I have a toddler that likes to wake up at 6:30 AM, and I'm starting to get a headache. So, I will see you later. I'm gonna go take some melatonin so I can sleep, chug the rest of my gallon of water, which I did really bad with today, and I will see you guys tomorrow. I will share the stream time on Twitter. I'm probably thinking about 1 o'clock. Um, I have errands to run tomorrow. There's some things that we need in this house, like bread and the essentials, um, that I have to go to Walmart for, which is a 40-minute drive. So I will see y'all tomorrow. Have a great night, everybody. See you on the next one.